Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Email me, samant@vhiphopnews.com. No, wait, let's go.
Period.
Yes, sir. I would say back probably like 2008, maybe even before that. It was this whole Illuminati talk, and you're in the industry, right? Is this something that's real in your opinion, or is it something in your opinion that's just conjured up by the conspiracy theorists? Do you think it's a faction of higher ups that are really like controlling everything and pulling the puppet strings in the industry as well as other industries? In your
Man,
experience,
like that the whole Illuminati thing for a minute, to me it's like it's it's a it's it's a bunch of propaganda to me. I mean, it could be some truth to it, but it's like what I'm saying, like I think a lot of rappers was using it just to up themselves and make themselves look like they were somebody.
right?
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's like, man, real power. It like the real power. You're never gonna see the real power.
Mm.
You're never gonna see real power is invisible. You're never gonna see that. So all these people that's out here talking about they this and that's not the real powers. The president ain't even the real power.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like all that Illuminati stuff, and like even if these people do got a plan, I'm a firm believer in God. Their plan is nowhere near stronger than God, so they can plan and plot all they want to. It is not going to defeat his. That's bottom line.
Right. Now, I don't know if it was you on Drink Tramps or one of you guys, and you were talking about one of your albums, like some of the symbolism and stuff that they will put
Yeah,
on there. I don't know. It might have been you.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Is that real? Did you not know what those symbolism and everything meant back then that they were putting in you guys' albums?
Bro, I didn't know what none of that stuff meant until years later, until I had my own show. I had my own podcast show, and we did a show about the Illuminati. And I started
Right.
looking up all these emblems and signs, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I started looking back at our albums. I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute, bro. They all this shit is on our albums, bro. All this stuff, and we just, you know what I'm saying? We just agreeing with it because we happy to be on, and it goes so well with like our flow and like, you know what I'm saying, the eerie sound. We just like, okay, yeah, come on, let's roll with it, let's go.
Right.
Not knowing what none of this stuff was, bro. Like none of this stuff. Like, and then that's why people, and then it just all started to come together. That's why people started to say we was devil worshippers and all this. I'm like, but I thought it was just because of the song Ouija we did. And I'm telling people, no, that was just an experience. Like the Ouija board we played was a Parker Brothers game. You know what I'm saying? So we telling people that like that experience, it was one of our experiences, and we sang about it. But like when I started hearing like people saying we was devil worshippers because of the stuff we had on the album cover, and then I looked it up, I was like, yo, it's a straight setup though. You know what I'm saying? Because Eazy done a lot of our artwork, and the labels done like most of the artwork. They would show us, and we just be like, okay, cool.
Mm.
Because the whole bone skull thing was like, you know what I'm saying? It fit us, you know what I'm saying? But they went with the little horns and all this crazy stuff and the little mystic messages on the back of the album, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy.
Did you ever? Well, you said you started doing it around a podcast, so I'm sure you didn't address any of that back then, right? You really didn't know.
No, not at all. We
So let
didn't
me.
no, we didn't say nothing about it back then.
Right. So let me ask you this, because my cousin said about 2008, and that was about right. You start really the internet and YouTube and the Illuminati stuff really started coming out. Now we're sitting in 2022, 14 years later, and it seems like Black people in entertainment, actors, movie stars, athletes, musicians, as far as the community is concerned, none of them can be famous without selling out, without joining the Illuminati, without selling their soul. That's from like us from the outside looking at people typing and shit like that. Talk about that misconception that we can't work hard, that we can't achieve our dreams and our goals without selling out and selling our soul. That's a big
that's that's the part that I said is a bunch of propaganda. Because like how come when we make money, you got to be some part of some secret society, or we sold our souls? For one, you can't sell your soul because your soul belongs to God. It's not for sale. We don't even own them, period. So that's impossible. Selling your soul is just a person that's willing to do anything and everything to make money, or a person can sell their soul doing anything. A person can sell their soul selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Doing any of that. Anything you do to sacrifice to get money. I don't care what it is. You can be a prostitute. Prostitutes sell their soul. Pimps sell their soul to make money. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. Like, but all that, having a meeting with the devil and signing your life to where people standing in the room and all that. I don't know if people do that. I've never been in a room like that and never plan on being in a room like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't speak on like what other people have done witness. Maybe it is ceremonies and stuff like that. I don't know. I've heard about it, but like y'all, I've just heard about it because I'm not trying to experience or journey into none of it.
Let me ask you this real quick, because you brought it up earlier when we were talking about your imagery. You said Eazy-E did all your artwork. Did you kind of get mad at him, or did you kind of figure that he didn't know what was going on either when he was doing the artwork and you seen all the wild symbols? Was that his doing, or that was like the labels doing?
Well, Eazy did our first EP because he passed away like for the second. Right. But Eazy knew what he was doing. Eazy knew what he was doing. Eazy was a visionary. He knew what he was doing.
Right.
But he was just playing off of it. You know what I'm saying? He called himself the devil's son-in-law. You know what I'm saying? In his rap. So I guess he was just playing off of that, and the fact that when he heard that we had stuff like Ouija and like what we was talking about, he was like, oh, they right in on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's what he was figuring. And so I guess the label just stayed in that marketing frame what they saw him doing with that. You know what I'm saying? And everything was just dark, and everything was the dark, eerie feel for Bone.
If he was alive today, would that be a conversation you shared with him or had with him about that?
Yeah. Like, man, we'd be like, oh yeah, so he was trying to put the devil on us out here. hey, but he'd laugh though, like, cause that's how we used to talk to him. Like we would joke about it for sure, definitely.
Now, I don't know if you talked about it on the drink.